Hey guys, what's up? This is Randy again, and I'm at you with another video. And tonight I'm going to talk all about managing your mind and the results or the potential dangers that come along with not doing so. So let's get into it, and please like, subscribe, share. I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, so I was having a conversation with a friend earlier, and that conversation was all about how we spaced out in certain times of our lives, and it ended up with us almost getting shot because we were fiddling around with guns. I mean, we both have ADHD, and we weren't doing that together, but on our own terms, we weirdly enough have this similar experience where I was playing with a gun when I was a child, almost shot myself. He was doing the same thing, almost shot himself. And that's simply from just spacing out and not being able to focus. So it could be something literal like that, not being able to focus and things go wrong. Or it could be something like keeping your emotions in check when you're angry, or not being lazy and doing what you need to do, or organizing yourself in such a way that you become successful in life. These are all important things, and what it really comes down to is self-management. Self-management and not having idle hands that the devil could work through is a very, very crucial skill that we need to have in life if we want to see happiness. Happiness comes from this self-management, I feel, at least partly so, because it simply gives you the freedom to be able to do what you want to do and feel light while you're doing it. I feel like heaviness in our lives comes from a lack of control, more often than not. A lack of control of ourselves, most likely. And I cannot stress enough the pain that I myself suffer through on a daily basis because I struggle dearly with self-management. And this engagement I'm having with you right now, just making this YouTube video, is a form of self-management. It's me stepping up to what I was saying, what I was going to do, and following through. And, you know, I'm not good at editing or really making YouTube videos, but, you know, I'm giving this my best shot. So I hope you appreciate it, and I hope you learned something from me, because I would love to learn with you. And this is an engagement that I have with the audience, whoever you may be. So please leave a comment regarding how you want to manage yourself better. So every day, your happiness doesn't come for free, I believe. At least not in the way that you think it does. Happiness is probably one of the most expensive things in the world because it requires some discipline. And discipline is a currency that is not given to, it's a currency that is not as easily accessible as money. I mean, you're better off trying to just get paid and just walk home at the end of the day and go to sleep after you get paid. Discipline is harder. Discipline requires you to get yourself together, which is not the easiest thing to do. So, with that being said, let's get into discipline. When I was young, I used to practice martial arts. I practiced day and night like crazy when I first got into it. I remember being 13 years old and going to the gym every day to practice and being excited about it and craving for it, being at school and just thinking about it. I remember, to me, it was play. To me, it was just something I was doing as natural as breathing. Until one day, somebody, an adult there, pointed out that because I asked him why he doesn't come every day, he said, because I'm not disciplined like you. I was like, discipline? This ain't discipline. I'm flowing with this. I'm having a great time. How is this discipline? It's what my young mind thought. I was blown away that he called it discipline. So that brings me to a point. Discipline should never be a heavy thing. I believe I was really good at that martial art because I was lightly disciplined. There wasn't a heaviness behind it. There was no resistance behind it. And if there was, the joy of it outweighed the heaviness very strongly in my mind. My emotions were geared toward performing that activity on a daily basis. When we don't have that in our lives, when we don't have that play, I believe play and discipline go together. Our minds do weird things to us. All kinds of ailments and really disabilities come from that. So I want to stress to anyone that I meet or come across that managing your mind is a battle worth fighting, or a piece of art worth making, or a challenge worth rising up to. And yeah, you know, so what is it I'm trying to say to you? What is it I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say, learn the joy of managing your own mind. Learn that joy. Be about that joy. Learn to make it a joy. Learn to remove and cut those strings that keep it heavy, that weigh it down and work against your best interests. Learn to be light, like a floating butterfly, as Ali used to say. You know, when I meet myself at the point of discipline, it really feels like I'm meeting an enemy, because I'm in my own way. And being in my own way is just the worst thing, because I feel like it's a sin. A sin because I'm in my own way when I should be my best friend. I'm being that block when I should be that catalyst that gets the things that I want done. It's a tragedy. It's a tragic existence. And it's one that I don't wish on anyone. When you're facing yourself every day, you should be facing yourself with joy, not with resistance. But what could somebody like me teach you? Well, from my point of view, I've suffered enough. I've suffered so much in my life that I've gained wisdom. And that wisdom has taught me the importance of seeing things clearly and acting from that clarity. When you see things clear, and when your mind is reflecting that truth, the keys to success are in there. The keys to living a better life are in there. And that's something we have to understand. So, yeah, I'm spacing out for a minute, but, you know, I'm just ranting on that. You need to dance with yourself. You need to invite play back into your life. And the war with the self is the war with obstacles, your relationship to obstacles. What are your relationships to obstacles? That's the question you need to ask yourself. My relationship with obstacles is that they tear me down, they break me down, they make me miserable. That's what I've learned in my past 10 years, is that I've had a terrible relationship with challenging times. I have not bothered to cultivate having a good relationship with challenge. I used to when I was younger. Somewhere I was led astray. And now I'm finding my way back home and meeting challenge with a new insight. Today I see my challenge as another place to turn shit into sugar. Another place to shine when I'm not supposed to. A place to show my true strength when I doubt myself the most. When I think about that person who gets through that obstacle, I get fired up. As depressed as I am on a daily basis, as jaded and as cynical I've become, I get fired up when I think about that person who can push through these obstacles, who can deal with the hand they're dealt the best way they can. Don't judge yourself. Nudge yourself in the right direction. Also, Find those who motivate you. Find your tribe that keeps the right vibe. Find something that sets your fire, that kindles your fire, sets it ablaze. Find that. Relish in it. Try to keep yourself there at all times. If you don't have it around with others, try to find it in yourself. And with that being said, again, I'm going to give you a story time. When I was practicing these martial arts when I was a kid, I used to see the reward rather than the punishment of going into the studio. I would feel the reward of practicing, simply the process. I would feel the reward as I felt every muscle fiber in my being tear, as I felt my bones get bruised a little bit from the daily practices, as I saw the progress being made. And even when there was no progress, I found a way to see the potential of progress in the future in my mind's eye. And when that comes naturally to you, you're capable. But are you in that mode? That's something I want to stress, being in the right mode. When you're not in the right mode, you don't have your mind right, this could be the hardest thing in the world to do. So what puts you in that mode? What steps are necessary? I believe it comes down to engaging every thought you're feeling head on, to manage every thought you're managing, to steer the wheel. There's a song by Incubus called Drive, and in the song he says, whenever tomorrow brings, I'll be there with open arms and open wide, yeah, something like that. When he says that, man, that song fires me up, because whatever your thoughts bring to you, whatever your mind brings to you, can you be there? Can you steer the wheel? Can you drive? Every thought that comes up, some thoughts you don't even know where they come from. Can you audit that? Can you audit that the way a tax advisor audits taxes? Can you pay mind to that? Because that's a price worth paying. That's the fruits of labor right there, steering the wheel. It all comes down to steering the wheel. How do you steer your wheel? How are you on the road of your mind? Your mind has a bunch of neural synapses, a bunch of neural pathways that are like roads leading to a destination. Can you steer the wheel out of that dead end? And can you come to that point where you truly want to be? So as a YouTuber, I stress that those watching steer their wheel. Because that's the only thing you got is your wheel and your lane. And you got to maximize that potential. Depression comes, I feel, from not maximizing that potential and being on the wrong path that leads to an accident every day. And there's no insurance down here. You've messed up in life, you mess up. I mean, there's no life insurance for poor decision making. If there was, I bet it'd be a great business. So whatever tomorrow brings, you got to be there. Whatever your thoughts bring, be there. Because the moment you're there, you'll see new opportunities. Stay in a problem-solving mindset. Don't let your mind be led astray by the momentum it's creating that's negative. Go in that positive light. Go there. So next time you got your GPS system, that's your mind, make sure you set it to the destination you want to go in. Pay attention to your thoughts. Mind your thoughts. Mind your thoughts the way a nosy person minds gossip. You'll go far. I believe in that. I think there's a quote by Deepak Chopra. I mean, I'm not into his stuff, but he says, thinking is literally, I'm paraphrasing, but thinking is brain chemistry. Your thoughts create the momentum, the mood, the drive to do what you need to do. And once you learn that, once you become a master of that, I feel like you can do anything. It's easier said than done, though. So I encourage you to be mindful of the chemistry you're making in your mind. Turn your mind into dynamite in the right way. there's a lot to be said here. There's a lot to be practiced. What I say ought to be practiced and then told. As they say, sold, not told. It ought to be ingrained in you. And unlike me, at least I feel, I was not having this ingrained in me at a young age. I was having this beaten out of me. I was discouraged from being disciplined, and I regret letting myself get to that point. I didn't see things as they were because I didn't manage my mind. Don't do the same thing. My plan is to move in a way that I learn to drive again in my own mind. I strongly advise you do the same. I never imagined I'd be smoking cigarettes. I was an athlete before, and here I am now smoking. Just throwing away my future. That's how bad it got. You know, if I could go back, as cliche as that sounds, I would change everything. So, I'm going to leave this video with that. Take the wheel and drive. Take your mind in the places you actually want it to go. I'm out. Thank you.